storage processor here for the end of August, end of sales on eBay. My three categories, $7 to 20. We had 59 of them. From 20 to 100, we had 24 of them, and over 100, we had 5. And in the we had 3 returns. One of them I just refunded. I didn't even worry about getting it back. I think 2 of them I did that too. One of them I did request back, and he said that it was working, but it was glitching, that it would warm up and something would mess up on it. So altogether, it was $166 worth of returns. Plus, we had 3 items that were bought at auction or had best offer on them. They met the offer, and then they decided they didn't want to pay for them, which kind of sucks. Alright, so here we go with some of the items that sold during the month of September, and it is a wide variety of stuff. Okay, so this here was a Harley Davidson carburetor, twin cam intake manifold. This was an item that was, I think I started at 75, and over the last 2 or 3 months it's dropped down to this, and I let it set here. I paid $5. This was actually on Brandon's items, and it went through the whole day, and at the end of the day I walked over and I seen the Harley Davidson symbols and asked how much, and he told me $5, so I bought it for $5. It sat for a few months, but hey, it got $50. Alright, this here, I think this came from the Cincinnati auction, and I want to say I paid like $5 for it. I took an offer of it for $90. Everything was working on it. I did have to provide my own power supply with it, but over the last couple years, I have had at least 4 of these things. I've had one that didn't work, and the other ones all worked, and they've all gotten around $100, so they're great items to look for. They do sell quite fast. Alright, there's going to be a lot of G.I. Joe. I had 2 of these. The first one went for like $31.30 in the month of the month before. One of them sold, and then I put this one up as the second one, and it brought $28.75. It took like 2 ounces to ship it. It was complete G.I. Joe from the early 80s. This guy here, one G.I. Joe guy with his card. His suit was thing. He was at auction. He went for $36 with $406 shipping. And this guy, the person who bought this G.I. Joe, bought a lot of guys too for $21. Ended up spending $57, and he got a total of like 8 guys for $57. Okay, so this one, you guys seen this. This was in the rug docker unit where I had gotten a bunch of ResMed stuff. Out of the 5 items, the 5 masks, I only have 1 left. This lady here bought 3 at one time, and they got shipped to Australia. So yeah, it was $25, but I got it times 3. Plus she paid the shipping. She didn't even argue about, 3 times the shipping. So, and it was fairly easy to ship. So, good return. Okay, so this is something out of the ordinary. This was a handmade iron butcher's knife, and you could tell that it was beat. It was forged. It wasn't something that just came out of a factory or something. It had pretty good weight to it, so I did get free shipping on it, so it ended up being around $20 for it. But this is something that you can usually pick up pretty cheap at the flea market for $1 or so. Alright, this came from Betty's Locker. We only sold 2 or 3 pieces of clothes from Betty's Lockers, a pair of shoes, whatnot, this month. But, $4 to 8 items a month for clothes wise from this lady's locker from 2 years ago. It was a Tory Burch. I thought it was quite ugly, but it finally sold. Alright, so I'm not quite for sure where these books came from. I know they came out of a storage locker, but they were sealed. And the reason I put them up here is because I sell FBA books on Amazon, and even at 45 bucks on eBay with free shipping, I mean, it was media mail. I don't have a problem shipping media mail. I was going to make more money on eBay with these than I would as an FBA send-off. So it's something to look at if you're selling both markets, or you're thinking about selling both markets. See which one you're going to make more money on. Alright, so these glasses here, I actually have a tote slam pack full of Sears. It came out of a storage unit that I paid $5 for. And I got several boxes of brand new glasses. You can see the Sears tags on them saying exactly what models they are and everything. And, you know, here, I paid $5 for the unit. I've sold about 3 pairs of glasses out of this unit so far, and they've ranged between $25 and $50 per pair of glasses. A lot of people these days are buying. You can get, when you go to a yard sale, look through the glasses. If you see a brand name that's pretty big, worthwhile, it'll probably be worth, I mean, I've sold a pair of glasses that have prescription RX lenses in them, and sold them just as the frames needed to replace the lens, and I've gotten upwards of $90 on a pair of frames. So it's something to look at, because usually at a yard sale you can pick up glasses for $1. The cases, like a Kate Spade or a Coach or a Versace or anything like that, you can get anywhere between $15 and $50 for just the case. And the same goes for watches. If you see name brand watches, high-end Beluga, you know, your Rolex and Philip Stein's, Rada, I think it's called Rado. You get the cases of those, and you can get $50 to $250 a case, if not more, on some of the cases. Just things to look out for. Okay, this came from the pipe threader unit. Just a big bunch of power head stainless steel bolts. A box of 50 was doing, I think a box of 50 was doing about 45, 50 bucks, and there were 67 of them in this box. So the price, I think I had it at 60, and it slowly dropped down, and this is where it went for. So, and I actually put that in a padded flat rate to get the shipping on it. I put it in a couple of them because it was a lot of pounds. Okay, I put this in here. It was only a $20 item, but I put it in here because I've had this listed for a very long time as parts, and I wouldn't go any lower than that because it was working, but there was something wrong with the needle, and I think it needed a whole stylus on it. But it would turn, it would play stuff, but I think the sound cords weren't working, and there was something up with the needle. Anyways, the guy who bought it gave me $19.95, and all he wanted was the little counterweight on the back of the arm. That's all he wanted. So I adjusted the shipping for that one thing. I think I charged him $4.25 for that little counterweight to ship it, but he paid me the $19.95 for this thing with just the counterweight. So I've relisted it without the counterweight and at the same price. So it's still for parts, and I've had that happen a couple times with people where I've had something up for parts and they've offered me what I wanted just for pieces off of it so I can send it to them. It's kind of a cool thing. Alright, this is one of the boards. I want to say this was the return board of it was $29.99, not $39.99. but this was a return board. This is one that I just refunded. Somebody in Puerto Rico said that it wasn't working right, so I refunded it. Alright, these shoes right here were in new status, dirty from a closet, came from an estate sale. Really good brand to look for. I've sold a couple of these pairs of shoes up online. I think I ended up paying, I think I paid $11 for these shoes at an estate sale. So, not bad return. Free shipping. I've probably about tripled my money on it. Okay, so this bike right here, I took a little bit of a hit on it. Or I didn't take a hit. I probably made $20 on the entire bike. These pictures actually were from the marketplace ad that I had my wife go buy this bike from. And these were all his pics. I didn't even use mine. It's sat up here forever. I had it going for $225, and it did sell for the $109. But unfortunately, somebody in California, and I live in North Carolina, bought it, and it ended up costing me $65 to ship this bike, plus the box, which was $10, or it was $8. So it ended up costing me almost $75 to ship this bike. I paid $30 for the frame. So it was all said and done, I made $20 off this, which to me is a complete loss. Even though I made $20, it's a complete loss to my butt, because it just, had it not gone to California, it probably wouldn't have cost me so much. Alright, this also came from the pipe threader unit. Things to look out. This goes on a pipe threader, it mounts on, and this is what threads the pipe. These pieces sell for anywhere between $25 and $100 a piece. They're very heavy to ship. I shipped it one of those padded flat rates. Wrapped it up a couple times just like the bolts, because it was really heavy, and it sold, and after it was said and done, about $25 off that one piece. Alright, the pipe threader. Yeah, I was feeling all down and out that we weren't going to go nowhere near what we needed to for the month of August. And my wife comes home, and I was messing with editing stuff, and it came with 6 threaders. And she walked in the door. She goes, "I bet you're happy now." I said, "Why am I so happy?" She said, "Because you sold the pipe threader." What's so bad is I had just taken it to the flea market the weekend prior, and everybody in the world told me that I was crazy. I was trying to get $500 for this pipe threader without the dies at the flea market, and everybody told me it was impossible to get it. And not 3 or 4 days later, it sold on eBay for $625 plus shipping. And I mean, I've sold one other pipe threader, the exact same kind, a 700 rigid, for $850 with 6 dies. So, and I tried to do the same with this one because I thought it was clean, but it just wouldn't sell. So that's where we're at. It was a nice little payday. Haven't had any wantings of it to be returned. And then, like an hour and a half, 2 hours after that pipe threader sold, this Tascam CD writer sold, and everything on it worked. It just didn't have a remote. It was really clean. Everything was working. It went to somebody up in New York. I've had a couple of these CD recorders that are the Tascams that allows you to, echo stuff, vibrate stuff, slow down stuff, change the pulse. It allows you to do a bunch of things professionally wise, and they sell real good. I've said it in one of my other videos. You heard my wife say it. This Tascam is some great stuff. It sells fairly quick if you price it right. $124 plus shipping. Alright, and the last thing we got up here is a textbook. This actually was one of my wife's textbooks. She went through all her stuff and pulled out about 15 textbooks that I was able to put on eBay. We've sold almost all of them so far. I think I got like 2 left. But that is it for that. But that goes down to our receive for the month of September was $27.50.16. You know, after fees and everything, we probably did about $1,800. This 362 was because of we had 3 unpaid items, and then we had the returns. So I hope that some of these things in my month September's, I know some of it's repeated because, you know, I kind of like saying Betty's Locker because I make money off Betty's Locker every month. Or me and Brandon make money off of Betty's Locker every month. But the G.I. Joes for the month of September, I probably sold, I'm going to guess, $500 worth of G.I. Joes. Out of the big whopping $59, $6 to $20 ones, I bet you at least 10 or 15 of them were G.I. Joes that were between $6 and $20. There was a bunch of them. I sold a lot of G.I. Joes last month. I sold vehicles last month. I sold at least a third of everything I got out of that flea market for $40. So right now the G.I. Joes are up to like $966 that I have made off of a $40 buy. And I still have half a tote and some vehicles left to sell out of that stuff. So I hope you learned something and gave you a little bit more ideas of things to search for and hunt for out in the thrifting world, the flea market world. If you're buying storage units, maybe it's something you might want to throw up on eBay instead of sending it to the flea market. Alright, you guys take it easy. Please like, share, comment about everything. I'd love to talk to you. Storage Prospector, out.